Go. And luckily, I have a lantern.
That is like.
Because normally when you first come through here, you probably haven't bought the lantern yet, so you... Quiet. And these are the beast human.
What?
The beast human. The beast people.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's their name. I literally have never figured out a good name for them. Oh yeah, I forgot if you use the telescope, it turns off the lantern.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought you were about to say I killed them before I gave them a chance to really tell me the name.
I kind of do nowadays. Because I mean, they're really... I mean, what you see is what you get. They're completely savage. They're completely feral. Who is this? Old Knight Esteban. He's one of the guys you would take assassination out on.
Cool.
That's interesting. That you can summon him here to help you. Later on in the game, you're given a contract to kill this guy.
Well, tells him not to be so trusting.
Interesting. So, basically, this boss fight, you're supposed to kill those things. And there's a lot of enemies. This is actually a tough fight for a beginning level player, but again, not really a beginning level player. And again, beginning level player, this is a tough fight.
You not so.
Yeah, this character is not beginning level.
But for you, it's just fun.
Like I said, they stole a sewing needle from him.
Wow. Again, petty.
Well, I mean, they're beast people, so what do you expect?
No, I'm still going with petty.
Now, I think there's actually something on the other side of the cave that I always used to miss when I first played this. So I'm going to go to the end, because I think there's actually something at the very end of this cave. That was it, because this cave leads out to a small little island to the Church of the Dragon Communion.
Okay, why didn't we start with that?
What?
The Church of the Dragon Communion? That sounds awesome.
Oh, okay. So I'm actually glad you find that awesome, because that's the other riddle I'm kind of trying to figure out is, where does the dragons kind of fit into all of this? Namely, the Church of the Dragons. So, I think actually... So, as you can see, dead dragon, a bunch of statues, 2 dragons, and an altar where you can sacrifice some dragon hearts.
What are the dragons' relationships to the gods, or do we not know that?
We do know that. So, basically, the dragons, so if you remember that day I was playing and a giant dragon came down with like 4 wings and I'm like, nope, I'll fight him another day, and I just ran past him.
Yeah.
So basically, and you know that giant elder dragon that we saw in the capital that was dead.
Yeah.
So basically, my understanding was there was a war between the gods and the dragon. That the dragons actually used to live, or at least some of them lived in this realm, in the land between. We know that their actual home, the home of the dragon, is right here in this vortex. The crumbling Ferrum Azula.
Okay.
Because you saw all those dragons flying in the giant never-ending tornado around the place.
Yeah.
So, the story behind the dragon is they used to fight with the gods until one of the gods befriended the dragon and like basically they fought each other to essentially a standstill, or the gods beat the that god beat the dragon and he respected his strength and decided to become allies with him.
So a less cute version of How to Train Your Dragon.
Exactly. Or I guess you should say a more appropriate version of How to Train Your Dragon, because it involved combat and death.
Exactly, less cute.
So basically, once they formed their alliance, that's when the Church of the Dragon Communion gets started. My only understanding is, so that's where I've been trying to figure out what the hell is the Church of the Dragon Communion. Because when you sacrifice dragon hearts to the altar, you get spells. I got a few of them right here. I don't know how many. Where are they? Right here. They're considered incantations. So I got, the ability to breathe fire, breathe poison, a dragon claw, and dragon bite.
Nice.
And this is an incantation of those who hunted dragon and feasted on their hearts.
Okay.
So that's the thing I couldn't figure out. If, Dragon Communion implied there's a fellowship between humans and dragons, or gods and dragons. So why are there specifically spells where you have to kill dragons to get their hearts to become more like the dragons?
I'm not gonna lie, I was honestly thinking of Fairy Tale. Natsu as Dragon Slayer magic, and now raised by dragon.
Oh.
And that maybe
Leave this place at once.
Like, is there a sect of dragons who are good and a sect of dragons who are bad?
Well, that's one of the theory, is that the dragon who decided to become allies
Back for me.
was down with
My
this
sewing
whole
needle.
philosophy, but some of the other dragons were like, nah, I ain't going to let some human kill me just so they can become more like me.
So basically, it's possible the Game of Thrones guy ripped
How
off
made you go into a
Fairy
thing
Tale.
like that?
Nice.
My mum
Possible.
was a seamstress.
Plagiarism
And
at
that
its best.
sewing kit was all I had to remember her by. I always
That's honest.
wanted to be just like
I'm making
sweet
jokes.
old mum.
That's my best theory, because otherwise I don't
Then
know.
Suppose I
I'm pretty
can't
sure
just curl up and die, can
Wait,
I?
you can argue Fairy Tale took that from Skyrim, because Skyrim did the same crap with dragons.
Thank you.
Hey,
You're very
a side note,
kind.
are the dragons
I
sentient or are
always
they
wanted
dumb
to be a seamster like my mum.
So
Then I suppose I
it's given inclination that they all that. Are you asking, are they just mindless beasts, or are they actually intelligent?
Are they mindless beasts or are they intelligent?
They are intelligent to a degree. No, actually, yes, they are just freaking intelligent.
Okay.
And I know this because there are dragons that can use spells on you, like actual magical spells that we've only seen humans be able to cast. And to cast those types of spells require intelligence.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yes,
Alright.
they are very intelligent actually.
Okay. I mean, I thought as much, but I just thought.
Yeah, no, actually I thought they were mindless beasts until I saw one of them start wielding magical spells on me.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of a giveaway, huh?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, so you're not just mindless beasts, you are actually intelligent. Let me go back to, because we were going to let me go back to the actual Stonevale Castle. Actually have a level up. I don't think I have a level up yet. I think I'm way too, yeah, I need a lot more points to level up, and I think I can actually get those points because I still have a shit ton of items. Let me see if I can just level up real fast before we keep going. There we go. That should be a level. Okay, I do want to start pumping some points into Arcane, so I can finally get back to the point of where I could use some of the dragon spells. So one thing I want you to note. Giant on the hill and that's not a welcome.
You mean the giant on the hill's not welcoming?
Oh no, I meant the freaking armed platoon of soldiers with barricades.
Oh, you mean it's not a welcoming? Who would have thought?
Well, I mean, they're trying to keep you from getting to the castle. So, remember, I told you the guards went to war when the Elden Ring got shattered. And they all went to war for power. And now they're kind of at a permanent standstill with each other. Where they can't, you know, they're at the point where they realize they either have damaged themselves to the point that they can't attack anymore, or they're too afraid to attack. So they're leaving a bunch of soldiers all over the place to keep people from getting to them.
I mean, that's one way to do it.
I'm just gonna run past that because there we go. Yes, those wolves did just come down from the sky.
I see that.
So, this I had to look up on YouTube video because I never could figure out why the hell wolves come down from the sky to kill you. And the only thing I could figure out that seemed to be implied from the YouTube video, because this is still in theory, in this game, wolves basically represent, or essentially the servants to the gods. Every god essentially have like a wolf, companion as their protector. Remember that wolf outfit I wore right here. You know, and I look like a wolf knight.
Yes.
That wolf knight was the protector to Ranny the Witch.
Alright.
You know, thus further implying how he's a god.
Right.
Everyone's been grafted. Everyone who came with me. They crossed the sea for me. They fought for me. Only to have their arms taken. Their legs taken. Even their heads taken. Taken and stuck to the spider. Did you know? If you're grafted by the spider, you become a chrysalid. It's quite a lark when you think about it.
So you remember that enemy we fought at the beginning, which was an abomination of a bunch of arms and legs and heads.
Yeah.
So I think those was her friends, or at least part of them was.
And heading to Stonevale Castle, enticed
Should we
by
tell
the
her
one
that
in
they
the
died
white
of
mask, I
merciful death?
suppose.
Oh, well, they
let's
died
say
long
nothing.
ago.
You've come to be one.
Let's just say
The
nothing.
spider.
Well, I mean, they've already
Well,
died
that
because
makes
the
us
spider
two
itself
kings in
wasn't
blood.
them,
I
but
don't have
it
your
took
courage.
their arms, their legs, and their
Scary, you
heads.
know, having your arms cut off.
So, if anything, we saved
Or
them.
your
Yeah,
head.
we gave them a
I
merciful
want
ending.
to be like everyone
Yeah.
else, but I'm just too scared. I'm nothing but a craven. Oh, I know. Can you take this little one along with you?
So this jellyfish spirit that he give us, not particularly useful summon. Good for the initial beginning of the game because it take the attention off of you, so you can attack enemies. But it's a pretty weak summon. This jellyfish, I found out, this is end game type stuff. You meet another lone jellyfish who is looking for his sister, because when they meet, they were supposed to go and play among the stars together. And this jellyfish is that sister.
The poor thing deserves someone braver than myself. And
Okay. makes
Nice
sense,
little,
okay.
yeah, nice little story. A little story that the
the
jellyfish you've been carrying around this whole time had a purpose. It wasn't just a random
It
jellyfish.
was a pleasure to see you. Oh, can you pass on a message for
Okay,
me?
that's why I want her to tell
If
me.
you see the little chrysalids in Stonevale Castle, tell them I love them. And that, despite my craven heart, I'm sure I'll be joining their club soon enough. I'm finally getting the hang of this whole pain thing, you know? It was a pleasure
I
to
hear
see.
you, sister.
Can you...
Yeah, needless to say, all the chrysalids are dead when we get to the capsule.
Yeah, I kind of worked that out.
I mean, not the capsule, the Stonevale Castle.
Oh, got it.
There we go.
Okay.
Miss me. Miss me. Oh, you guys actually gonna fight me in here? Okay. Oh, okay, you guys actually want to come in. Hey, Alchemist, did I show you the new spell I got? Kamehameha.
Huh!
So I got Kamehameha wave.
Wow, it makes people not alive anymore.
Oh yeah, it make them not alive very quickly.
Huh.
I also got another one. I also got some other spells, which is I can summon meteorites.
You got Meteor from Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah, I got some meteorites, and of course I got a magic bow that shoots 3 arrows at the same time.
That was 4. That
Oh,
was 4.
okay, there we go. 4 arrows. I was trying to be a little bit humble.
How? It is 4.
Why be humble? Did that go against everything you believe in?
Oh, that's the other thing. Let me...
It only goes against half of what he believes in.
Well, one half is money. What's the other half?
I have an item.
I don't know. Depression?
Margus.
Nah, Shadow Art Fox doesn't have the patience for depression.
Okay, fair.
It's it's the same reason all three of us aren't depressed. We just don't have the time for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus that
I did not
depression's
recognize him. So when you first play the game, he's the summon who can help you on the first boss. I did not recognize him because he's actually a player you run into once you get into Stonevale Castle. But okay, I didn't even recognize him. Okay, that's interesting. I'm again seeing people that I've seen again for a new light. So let's go to Stonevale. Clearly, nothing will stop us from getting there.
Really.
Foul tarnished. In search of the Elden Ring. Emboldened by the flame of ambition.
Look familiar? Zed, you should remember him.
Isn't that the guy you killed for the chair?
Exactly. He's one of the other gods, but he's playing the part of a
Must extinguish
nobody.
the flame. Let it be Margit the Fell.
So several things I didn't know about back in the day with old Margit. First off being, there's an item that can literally make him stop being able to attack. Like he literally have an item that stops you from being...
Passing skill. Warrior blood must truly run thy veins. Tarnished.
There we go.
I shall remember thee, tarnished, smoldering with thy meager flame.
I think you're the one who's smoldering.
Oh yeah, no, it's like I...
The hands of the fell Omen shall brook thee no.
He's talking a lot of shit for someone who ass I just kicked.
I was gonna say he's rather talkative for someone who's dead.
He's not dead actually.
Oh, bummer.
He's so several things to know. Well, Archimage, what do you pick up from him?
That he's full of himself.
Yeah, okay, very much so.
Forgive me.
That he kind of seems to
Testing you to see whether or not
kind of entertained
grace
that you
truly does guide you, and whether you are fit
And
to
because
face
it's
the
all been a
challenge
test as well,
that
of
entails.
course.
It seems my worries were unfounded. Torrent had your measure from the very start, whereas I merely pretended. There is but one other thing I can do to offer you guidance. I can take you to the Round Table Hall, gathering place of tarnished champions, guided by grace. Very well. Let my hand rest upon you for but a moment.
Okay, so okay, what were you saying, Archimage?
I was gonna say he seemed rather pleased that we beat him. Actually,
Really? You think he was pleased that we won?
well, not pleased, but what's the word? Expecting, as if this was round one.
Because it very much was round one. Because if you remember from that one weekend when we was in the capsule, we saw him again right about, I believe here in the graveyards of the battlefield.
Right.
And then you wasn't here. It was the Easter weekend. Zed was here, and he watched me kill him a final time right here. He was guarding he was like the last guard to the Earth Tree. It's found out that he's essentially he's one of the gods. He's essentially like the bastard child that no one talks about. Because maybe the thing that I used to shackle him will actually tell the story. His name was Margit. So
damn, with a name like that, no wonder.
Shackles was used to bind the cursed people called the Omen. These one was made to keep particular Omen under strictest confinement. Though faint, the shackles still retain vestiges of power, enough to trap the once bound Margit on Earth, if only for a short time. So, he's a type of people called the Omens. I think he is. I would have to look at the family tree, but I think he is another one of the children of the Queen of the Gods. But
Not a favorite.
clearly, they came out. You saw how he had horns all over his body.
Yeah.
And those types
yeah.
of people are called the Omens. We actually meet a whole lot of them because, and I can't remember, I think this was off camera. Yeah, it was off camera when I was exploring the underground to the capsule. Underneath the capsule is basically where they keep all of the omens. Basically, whenever a child is born and they start growing horns like the omen, and they become they're an omen, they're like, oh, this is a dumpster child. I'm just gonna dump him down the sewage. So literally, the underground is just filled with them.
I'm guessing he's not particularly fond of his mother either.
You would think that, but he seemed to be the most loyal out of all the children. So Zed will remember this. You won't, because you wasn't there. That when we fought him, before we fought him, he basically said, when America broke the Elden Ring, and shattered the Elden Ring and caused all the other demigods was traitors in his eyes, because they all decided to vie for power. Rather than trying to reform the Elden Ring, they instantly went to, I'm going to grab whatever piece of the Elden Ring I can so I can become stronger and become the new, king of the gods or queen of the gods. He was the only one who just stayed at his post, guarding the capsule, guarding the tree from all who were oppose it or attack it.
Okay.
So, I guess in a way he's kind of like Naruto, in the sense of he get treated like crap for being the monster, but he's the most loyal at the end of the day.
Yeah, that sounds right. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it does happen.
I wish I had... Actually, wait, I do have one of his items. Because I did kill him. Where? Right here. Remembrance of the Omen King. Though born one of the graceless Omen, Mogot, that's his actual name. He's, again, another of the gods decided to go by a different name. He called himself Margit, but his actual god name is Mogot.
Sure, because that's so much better.
Took it upon himself to become the Earth Tree protector. He loved not in return, for he was never loved, but nevertheless love it he did. So
Oh, this is a rare occasion.
I mean, it does happen.
I guess, you know, the stepchild that does everything to win praise in mommy and daddy eyes, I guess that was him.
I guess so.
Let down your guard.
I mean, to be fair, you know, there are some
Allow
people
me a
who
word of advice.
that does happen
As
because, you know, we have that where people will actively protect, or abuse will protect their abusers.
And that's essentially, now granted, they didn't actually abuse him from as far as I can tell, other than
I mean,
a
they essentially flushed him down the toilet. I think we can count that as abuse.
well, I don't know if they actually did flush him down the toilet, because needless to say, he became essentially the guard of the capital when all the other guards, you know, started to vie for power. He became the only defender of it. Enough for the capital to recognize him as the defender. It's
I don't know. It sounds more like a last man standing.
it's a good question. It's a very good question on what the hell his motivation is. I know you, you jackass. I was happy to kill you.
Ah.
So that's the other place. This place is the Round Table.
Oh, I see you've just arrived.
The
Welcome
Round
to the
Table
Round
of, I
Table
think, the
Hall.
Lost Grace. Round
I'm
Table
Corin,
Hole. Okay, never
a man
mind.
of the cloth. I teach
Is
incantations.
that an actual round
The
table?
strength granted
Yes.
us by the two fingers.
Oh, okay.
And
I'm
explore
sorry.
the
What's that
secrets
mean?
of the Golden Order, so that one
I'm
day,
not a fan of the
if a
huge ass
tarnished of the
sword,
Round
but I like
Table
it.
hold should become Elden Lord, I might counsel them, ensuring order regains its proper form, righting rule over men. By the way, do you still see it? The guidance of grace. You
Yeah, I
do.
see you.
Wonderful news.
Oh, I see the table.
Most
I like it.
tarnished are blind to it these days. You are something of a rare breed. Well, what do you say? Care to learn an incantation of the two fingers? May the golden
Okay, that
order
sounded
shine
really
through
dirty,
you.
and sir, I might need to speak with your HR.
Okay, so yeah, you never seen the two fingers. Other than that,
Stop saying two fingers.
yeah. Other than that, things to note.
Would you prefer 3?
I
So-
know some people would, but I wouldn't.
So that's an omen essentially.
Like what I did there?
Oh, jeez,
Yeah,
yeah.
good one. You like how I didn't dignify it with a response?
So
No, I thought that deserved a response of some sort.
there's your omen, Alchemist. That's a better look at the omen. That's what they look like. Where they got horns growing all out of their body.
Yeah, I can see why their moms would be a little peeved off pushing those buggers out.
You're a new face. No matter.
Now,
It's all the same.
okay, so Alchemist, here's the biggest clue that America clearly had some involvement in the death of her son and the events that unfolded.
I see you've noticed the chains. Nothing special. I'm a prisoner and these are my chains. I'm trapped by the hold. I'm dying, smithing for you fools. That's all there is to it.
The question is, who trapped him here?
No, don't read too much
It had to be
into it.
someone powerful.
Well, no grudge against you. My being a prisoner is no fault
It
of
was
yours.
Queen America.
Besides,
Of course it
I
was.
don't mind smithing. Despite my
Yet he
differences,
hold
the
no
weapons
grudge
get stronger
against
all
her.
the same. Given time,
That's weird.
technique, sides, it helps me forget. The sheer terror of her.
Well, you heard, you know, he said it helped me forget the sheer terror of her. You don't realize who her is unless you've been through the whole game. I've been through the whole game where he basically tell you America trapped him here and gave him the job. Forge a weapon that can kill a god.
Do it. I'm
Now-
sorry, it had to be that, because that's why he doesn't hold any ill resent. He hates the gods, so that's why he agreed.
Now, here's the thing. Despite that, we catch him praying to her. Now, I don't know whether it was a prayer of help me fulfill my... because I can't remember. It was a while. It's been a couple of weeks since I saw him doing that. But it was basically a prayer of help me to... I can't remember whether it was a prayer of help me to complete my pledge. Or, I think that what it was. Help me to complete my pledge or help me to get through this. But here's the thing. He's forging a weapon. Like, his job is to forge the weapon for the Tarnish. Eventually, if the Tarnish is good enough, they'll make it to this round table hole. And this is basically the hub of all the Tarnish who are trying to become the Elden Lord. The new... Because basically when the Elden Ring was shattered, everybody hoped the demigods, one of the demigods would get the pieces of the Elden Ring, reassemble them, and become the new king of the gods. But they all went, you know, it was infighting. What always happened when the patriarch dies in a, you know, in a monarch, you know, infighting among the children for power.
Yeah, as always.
Song gets old at time. So basically, once they realize, oh, the children are all just fuck ups and they're just gonna keep fucking things up, they went with Plan C, which was bring back these old warriors who we got rid of for some reason, because maybe one of them may have the power to actually put the Elden Ring back together and become the new king of the gods. So
I mean, it's not the worst plan ever.
well, see, here's the thing. It never dawned on me until this moment. The Tarnish, which we are, we're all technically not... We're not demigods. We're like second generation demigods. Or third generations. Because I found out essentially all the Tarnish are essentially warriors of the first king of the gods. And when the first king of the god got sent away, that's when the Tarnish all got sent away. So essentially they were trying to clean house. Because Marika essentially been married twice. The first time she got married to... Where was it? She got married to Horar Lux.
Okay.
When he... Yeah, he got the strangest name. Horar Lux. He was literally just someone who was obscenely powerful. And for his power, he was made the first Elden Lord, the first king of the gods. And he took on the name Godfrey. But then...
Not at all show, buddy.
Then he was robbed of his title. And he was made to become a Tarnish. He took with him his kinfolk and left the land between. We are his kinfolk. The other Tarnish. We went on what's called the Long March, which were basically when we left the land between with Godfrey. Now
I heard
that
Colt start out with this same story.
Exactly. Well, now that we got brought back, we're brought back for one of us to be strong enough, like he was, to assemble the Elden Ring and become the new Elden Lord.
Okay, honestly, this is starting to sound like a really screwed up dating game for Queen what's her face.
Well, okay. So, and this will be the last, because the timer had went off, and I figured this would be our last part. So, one thing I'll leave this part on is remember I told you Queen Marika is two people.
Yeah.
Sees Queen Marika, and then sees also Radagon. And I told you the big mystery that everyone's trying to solve is, were they always the same person? Was they two separate people who became one person? Or, you know, or something else that we don't know of yet. A third option.
Right.
So Radagon, he was, before Radagon become the new Elden Lord. The reason Godfred is sent away is because they no longer needs him. And Radagon become the new King of the Gods. He marries Marika, Queen Marika. So that raised the question, you know, if they were always the same person, how the hell do you marry yourself? I know there's people trying that, but come on.
Yeah.
That if they're separate people and they become one, you know, not only that, but they have several children together.
Yeah, that doesn't quite work.
Then again, this is fantasy, and these are gods and goddesses we're dealing with. How many times in mythology do we see gods actually giving birth to themselves, or becoming, or having sex with themselves to make more gods?
Not as many times as you think, but enough.
I think it happened, what, in wasn't there, shoot, I don't think it happened a lot in Greek, but doesn't it happen in Egypt and Hindu, I believe, mythology?
Hindu more than Egyptian, and I mean, don't get me wrong, it does happen in Egyptian. Like I said, it happens in quite a few religions. I'm just, it doesn't happen as often as you'd think. Like, it does happen, though. That's my point.
It does happen. So that's what
Like,
been having me scratch my head here. Is it does happen.
Yeah.
So it is viable that she could have always been the same person. It is also equally viable they could be two separate people who became one.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of questions on that.
And of course, we got the deathbed companion Fia over here. Sees a whole another story of crazy.
There's more crazy.
Oh yes, there's always crazy in this game. There's a lot. There's just a whole lot of crazy in this game. A whole lot of crazy. You see now why I wanted to pick your brain, because you see now why I have a web of conspiracy.
Yes, I see why, and I'm glad I don't play this game because it might actually drive me crazy.
But I'll end this part here. I don't know if we want